Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of When You're Delusional, You're Gonna Be on TikTok. I do hope you're gonna enjoy the video, so let's just get into it.
Why height matters to you in a relationship.
All right, let's talk about dating preferences and why you shouldn't care about other people's dating preferences. And don't mind this, it rained. Why height will matter to some women. And I want to say some because if you open comments under that video, you will see that a lot of women don't care about the height at all. Now, a lot of people are very open-minded in who they date, whether it's about appearance, height, culture, even gender sometimes. And other people are more specific with what they go for. Neither is good or bad. They just are. Now, I'm the second type. I have a type. Things like height, age, and hygiene, specifically dental hygiene. I will not go without these three. And before you guys say anything, whenever I date online, all of my pictures are recent. I have full body pictures. I have my height in my profile. And if there's a space where they're asking for weight, there are on some apps or sites, I will put my weight there. No problem. If we're going on a date, I want to be your type. I want you to know what you're going for. And listen, when it comes to dating, you need that level of security and self-confidence where you're not bothered by not being someone's type. Like, you just don't care. If I'm, too fake, too made up, too tattooed, whatever, too pierced for some people, I don't care. I am not offended that I'm not someone's type. Like, that's too much time on my hands, too much energy going into nowhere, And I'm not saying the creator is offended or bothered or policing. I'm just making a point, like an overall point. So girlies, if you're not someone's type, like you're too fat or you're too thin for some men, don't waste your time worrying about it, trying to be everyone's type, like filling that space in your head with that. And guess what? Your body type, the one that you already have, is hot for a lot of people. You don't have to go out of your way to try to be liked by them. Same with short guys, And like worrying that you're not someone's type and being offended, as well as policing someone's type, it's giving insecure. So don't do that.
That sounds great and you're making a lot of good points, but that was not the question. The question was pretty easy. Why does height matter for you in a relationship? And no, the guy did not get offended, he did not get defensive, he was just answering some other lady's comment, something that you obviously failed to do.
Stitch this video and explain to the world why height matters.
Oh, Mario, let me tell you why we like them tall. First things first, we like to feel small. We've been trained to be tiny and vulnerable and not intimidating. We can't tower over you. We're supposed to be locked in a tower for rescuing. We want to hire you like our own personal bodyguards so we don't have to hold our keys between our fingers when we walk down the street anymore. It's really convenient getting things off of tall places without a stool. Shorter guys leave you alone when you have a taller guy. Have you ever heard of a Napoleon complex? Tall guys usually have big shoes. Big shoes mean and daddy issues. This is gonna upset people, but our fathers were taller than us, at least until they ran away.
Who would have thought you're gonna turn this into a rant about daddy issues and how you were taught to keep yourself down? I thought men were keeping you down, but I was so wrong. Just out of curiosity though, if daddy ran away, who trained you to be tiny, vulnerable and all the rest? The only truth that came out was big shoes equals big D. So does in most cases a big nose, even on shorter guys. I've never heard so far none of you saying I want a guy with a big nose.
And explain to the world why height matters to you in a.
This is an interesting one for me because the answer is men. Men are the reasons why I had my preferences. So I am I'm 5'8" and I'm a chunky monkey. That has never wavered or changed. And when I was dating men of a normal size or like the same height as me, maybe a bit smaller, they would project their insecurities associated with their height onto me and ultimately make me feel inadequate because I was larger. So I would have comments about my height. I'd be told that I wasn't allowed to wear high heels. I'd have comments about my weight. They would be ashamed to be out with me sometimes. And to be fair, I don't think I'm that shameful. So eventually I saw the correlation between smaller men and their smaller minds and decided that maybe seeking a taller man would be more appropriate for me. So I started dating men that were like 6'7", 6'8", and they made me feel like the dainty feminine woman that I am. They made me feel precious and they made me feel special. As I got older and I improved my own relationship with my body and sort of accepted my height, etc., my preferences started to waver because I had a bit more confidence in myself. And I will now say that I'm married to a man who's 5'11" and he has never made me feel inadequate. But the true answer is men. Men are the reasons why I had my preferences. If they'd been more comfortable with themselves, they wouldn't have made me feel like I needed to go seek something else. There we go.
Fair enough, insecurities. I think this makes more sense than what we've heard from earlier. You said you're 5'8", and it looks like we're both the same height, even though that it looks like I should be 5'10" or something like that, but I'll go with 5'8". And even though I never cared about my height, I can understand maybe some men are. Most of us have some insecurities when it comes to ourselves, just as I'm pretty sure you have yours. Now, 6'7", 6'8", that's over 200 centimeters. That's over 2 meters. That's basketball level. And apparently they make less than 1% of the entire population. Either way, you found yourself a 5'11", and that's a happily ever after story right there.
Why height matters to you in a relationship?
For me, it's about feeling feminine. I am nearly 6 foot. 6'3" if you put me in heels. I'm 150 pounds. I work out, I could probably bench you. I'm also the boss at work. I have to take control of everything and everyone in quite a masculine environment. So, we go out, and you're here. It's not going to work for me.
And we just got to the good stuff. Just one question, can you leave your bossy attitude at work? I mean, you said you're looking for femininity. That would be what makes sense. Either way, women look for taller men for protection, for safety, for security. Recent studies show that taller men tend to be more successful. But the question is still, how tall is too tall? Like you said, you're 6 feet tall, it only makes sense to date taller. Women always wanted to date men that are taller than them. And yes, there are some exceptions, but those don't make the rule. The only problem I see is when you have a certain number in mind. You only date 6'4", okay? But why? Again, if you're 6 feet tall, that makes sense. But if you're 4'2", why 6'4"? Why not 5'10"? Why not 5'5"? He's still gonna be taller than you. You feel like having a new hobby every time you look up at him to get a neck pain? If that's the case, go for it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. This is gonna be the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.